Inside the Room, a music show where the music comes first.
Let's jump into The Enemy Within itself. Like, just start from the beginning. I mean, did that song come about in the studio? Was it, where did it come from?
It started with that intro riff.
Yeah,
It
I
actually
remember
started
that.
with that, man. It started with that. It was a cool riff.
What are you thinking about when you just start writing? Is that you wake up in the morning, you start, or you're somewhere and you just make a note? Where does that come from?
If I'm writing deliberately, I got to put myself into a state of anger or frustration to actually get, so it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm writing genuine emotion.
And Eric, how do you interpret that? When you're singing these lyrics and you're kind of vibing with him with your style, how do you interpret that with him?
He thinks more positive. I'm always like kind of like the downer, and he picks me up. So when he writes his lyrics, and they're kind of like almost on a happy kind of side, or like I kind of like want to make it evil, and make it darker, and make it angrier, and curse more, and just make it more hostile. He's like, no, you gotta stay on track, and this is what this story is about. And I'm like, no, fuck you, man. And this is the way I want to write it, and this is what I feel inside. But Chris is like, Eric, behave, go this way, stay here. Because all of a sudden you start talking about killing somebody. The song's not even about that. I'm like, yeah, but I'm angry. So and I got to try to control myself and be like, okay, I understand.
The video visually has nothing to do with what the fucking song was written about, which is it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So visually, it takes you on it's a different take.
Is this the first one you guys have done with the director?
This one was the first one with Mark. Mark was the director.
Yes.
I did Godless America.
Godless America, the heart of brimstone. Godless America.
Breaking Point. I did like 4 of them.
The moment is here. It's not about on the ground.
So I've noticed that, and that's what I was thinking. I was thinking you were the person that was doing the editing and kind of the concept on these. And when I first seen them, they were pretty busy. But your music's busy as well. But they were pretty busy. And it took me a minute to, as a video editor, as a producer, as a director, to kind of catch them. But then I got it. So when I was editing the show together, I started getting where you were going out, the blending, the military. Visually, you knew where to go vocally with some of those things. So I was really starting to vibe with it. I was going, yeah, that's a Mass Punishment vibe, not only with the music, but the videos kind of had that feel, like it had y'all's vibe to it. So going into this video, the Enemy Within, it was a different vibe for me because it wasn't as blended as I'm normally used to in your videos.
Right.
How did you work with that? Did you have a hand in that, or you just said go ahead and you sent it out, give me something back, and we'll have some input?
No, I had a big hand in it. A huge hand in it. Yeah, huge. Yeah, what direction we were going, the gym scene, him just having a shitty day. I wrote a whole script out from beginning to parts that didn't really. Chris would say, nah, we don't need to use this or we don't need to use that, but majority of it had the idea, and Mark, the director, too, had some ideas. He helped out a lot. So yeah. So Ed too. Ed had a lot. Like the whole road scene when I pull up and all 3 of them are standing there and they're pointing and they take out their flag and that whole fight scene, that was Chris's idea. When I fight, and I think grab the mask and put the mask on, I think that was my idea. And I go and I look at the sign and I turn. Yeah, and I come back to get them. No, it was Chris's idea too, because I came back to kill you guys.
So Eric, how did you and the director tie this into the lyrics that were written? Like, I know, because like we talked about earlier, that's not really what the lyrics are saying. This is something completely different. How did you come up with this concept? This guy's just having a bad day.
I don't know. It's just something in me. Just thought of just general day, going to work, having just a shitty day. And it started out, me leaving the house, going to the gym, then going to a bar. Just everything's it's just not a good day. Because I really had those days where I'm leaving for work. The guy at the register is a scumbag. I go to work. This guy's a piece of shit. I get out of the work. This fucking asshole cuts me off. Paying tolls, paying taxes, motherfucker. Yeah, man, it all just stems up.
Is that where you go when you're driving? Because you're like angry as you drive, right? Like you're really laying into it.
You know what's funny is that is a complete opposite of how Eric actually really does drive.
Now, I'm not a hostile driver.
Usually I make fun of him like it's like driving Miss Daisy over here, man. But
Yeah, Chris is the speeder.
I drive angry as fuck.
Yeah,
man.
Chris is like fucking 80 miles an hour. Well, there's one funny thing, and in the video we go to a bar and we're drinking and we're having this. Remember that, Rob? You see the one at the bar scene? Fucking Chris hates that fucking bar. It's like we look like we're in my bathroom. I'm like, I didn't even notice. It didn't bother me, but it bothers Chris. It just does.
I hate the one scene where I'm like walking along the wall. It's like
gives
why-
a shit?
I don't understand why that scene was used. I just
But who gives a shit though? You're at a bar.
it should have just had us at the bar, that one side view. But then when I'm walking around the side of the bar, I'm like looking back at that scene. I was just like, nah. It was just a bad shot, man. Whatever.
So in that scene, it's interesting to me because the dynamic between Eric and Chris is kind of like it is in the studio that I've seen on some of the behind the music type of stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? And even in our last podcast, y'all's dynamic is a little bit like that. So I found it interesting, but not really interesting that he
I
was
think
the one
I
kind of
honestly
nudging.
feel like that dynamic is with me and anybody, but yeah, it definitely it usually is between me and her. But like, yeah, I'm always like, I don't know, man. I guess I'm
So
abrasive.
you played that role well. Right? It wasn't Art that played that role, it was you, so it didn't surprise me that you were the one that nudges him, and then at the very end, he's, firing at you, but we never see you get killed, right? We just assume. So you can live on
Yeah.
into the next video. You know what I mean? We see some blood splatter. You guys finally revealed that you're a band. Why did you decide to only do that and maybe the last minute or so into the song to show guitar, vocals, all that kind of stuff?
To be honest, we thought of the jamming out session. We just thought it was cool to show our faces and show that we're musicians and we're a fucking kick-ass metal band. Fuck it.
I think it was different for you guys. I think and I like the way that it came out. There's a look there. There's something there that that you guys have a touch on, just like the music. I think that's what's cool because as a fan or somebody that's out there, hearing you or exploring your music for the first time, the visual as well as the music is you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's your freaking look.
Yeah, these guys got a lot of visual, like, they know what they want, man. Chris and Eric both have a great vision, and, like, they really do know what they want to do. And it's like, they blow my mind sometimes, man. They're like, oh, just wait a minute, Ed, you'll see what's up. And I'm like, God damn, all right. So, yeah. Chris sits there stoically and, like, but that dude's working. His fucking brain's going, man. It's like, this is the first time I've ever been in a band where it's like, these are my fucking brothers. These dudes will take a bullet for me, you know what I mean? And everybody, like, we all play off each other's strengths, man. And it's great how it's working, and it's fucking amazing.
How you guys feeling about, where you're going right now with the song and the music?
It's getting stronger every day. It really is. Everything that comes new, like, we think we have a plan, we think we know what we're doing, and we get to the studio and it just does its thing in the studio.
It's a whole new ball game now. It really is. It's like I no longer go to the studio with any expectations other than I'm walking out with a fucking killer song.
Yeah, it's coming out great.
One thing I like about you guys as people, not just the band. I like the band, obviously, but as people, I think you're generally good people to create music. Y'all make for great interviews. You have a lot of differences in the way that you do things, but you go with it. You stick together. And I think that's what's cool. You and you're making this thing happen. You're optimistic about it, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
can hear it. You can hear it. That's where it comes out when you guys put it together. They're going to mix it. They're going to master it. They're going to do all that stuff. Those guys don't have a job without the three of you guys sitting here, right? They ain't doing nothing without these guys walking in the room and these personalities that come in. And that's what makes, I think, Mass Punishment really cool on the back side of things, and it comes through the music.
Inside the Room, a music show where the music comes first